very warm welcome and thank you for joining us on today's episode of this live broadcast. I am here once again to give us details concerning the news and all that has been going on around the country over the last couple of hours and last couple of days. Well, Sowore's karma came earlier than expected after he called His Excellency P.O. Dumb in his tweet criticizing what His Excellency P2B said concerning the electricity tariff rate that was hiked. He actually has been accused by his party members of embezzling the party's funds, which is running into several millions of naira. And it's very interesting to see because, days after calling His Excellency P.O. Dumb, we've seen who is actually dumb, because someone that is, supposedly as educated as he is will expect that that when you live in glass houses, you shouldn't throw stones. Well, before I come back and have conversations about this, let's particularly hear the allegations that were rained against him by his political party.
Person that does not obey the cost of the land. This is a person that do not in any way respect any entity or any establishment. This is a man that thinks he is a god. This is a man that has decided to blackmail people in this country. This is a man that has consistently dead every person. And so the political party African National Congress says we want to build a strong institution. We have to expel him. This man misappropriated several millions of this particular party. This man was living a Hollywood life in a hotel called Radisson Blu. He stayed there for over 1 year, where you pay almost 300,000 per night. Over 1 year, he took people's money that was donated and turned against the party. This is a man that was living a Hollywood life. This is a man whose life is about clubbing. This is a man that continually gang up a bunch of miscreants and beginning to terrorize people. His antics is basically to intimidate, to blackmail, to hijack, to put people down, whether in a small space or in low space. For him to come to IPAC today, the epitome of democracy, to come and do this, if not because the people here are courageous, he would have burned this place down today. This is not because security is everywhere here, he would have burned this place down. He has this habit, he has this penchant, and this is what we are going to stop. The AAC does not want him. The AAC has expelled him. The AAC is telling the world that this man is unfit to occupy, even being a primary school captain in the class. So we want to say clearly, you can't see him around here. You only see people around here. What we are saying is this: the security should move in and stop this young man that is indulging in Buddhism. You also how this man went to the Temple of Justice, to describe the Temple of Justice, by bringing a juju man inside the court of law. We have seen series of...
Well, we are seeing in real time a real-life example of the proverb that says that a person's house is on fire and he is chasing rats because, Omoyele Sowore has all of these issues going on in his backyard. I'm talking right in the political party where he contested for presidency, right? And then he has the audacity to come after His Excellency P2B. And so we understand that these people have rained very, very serious allegations. We heard him, he said he's living a Hollywood life with their money. Basically, no transparency, and you come after the government of the day, come after everybody that cares to listen and say all kind of heinous things and dubious things about them, when in reality, you're no different from the people you claim to hate and whose policy you claim to hate, right? And so we've seen him, he should basically just, put his house in order, because if you're pointing fingers, you should make sure that your hands are really, really clean. And it's just very interesting to see. After all, we saw him the other day, the other time while he was in court, and he actually went there with, a group of native doctors, or rather a native doctor. This man just has, a penchant for mischief. Particularly, let's even see that video of the, him arriving court with a traditionalist, and let's see the opera it cost. I particularly find this video extremely funny because, I mean, what do you mean by spiritual advisor? We're talking about a judicial process here and you feel it's necessary to arrive with your minions. And at the risk of sounding quite uneducated about traditional matters, like, are people like this allowed to get into court? Because we actually don't understand that, but that is really besides the point here. The point is that Omoyele Sowore needs to desist from putting his mouth in conversations that has to do with His Excellency P2B, seeing that he has a bigger fish to fry. Because if someone labeled you a thief and called you all sorts of names, I think you should be worried about, you know, redeeming your reputation, other than just coming out to say things that has little or no interest to you or concern to you. Well, that's besides the point. Moving on, we have Labour Party and their internal wranglings, right? That's put them on the spotlight this past couple of weeks, with Julius Abure being reinstated as the party's national chairman in a convention that the INEC has termed to be not inclusive and against the rules of INEC. Well, Kenneth Okonkwo, who happens to be an Labour Party chieftain, came out to actually have conversations about the issues going on in Labour Party with Arise News. Let us take a listen to what he said and we'll come back and share our thoughts.
I'm not used to answering questions from people whose only duty is trying to seek relevance by mentioning the name of PO. You know, it gives them essential nutrients, so allow them to live in that world. But what I'm going to say is that Kasim Afebua was a candidate or an aspirant to the gubernatorial election of Edo State. And when they finished their first time, they produced 3 candidates. And the candidate that the governor, they sent to announce was disqualified because of their corruption and incompetence. And the same APC, the chairman that is governing APC, is going to face trial, from what we read, April 17, for his bribery, for the bribery allegations against him. As I'm talking to you now, APC has been the scourge and the worst thing that has happened to any people in Africa. 1,000 companies has gone down in Nigeria within 1 year. You and I know what the economy is going through. We are paying more now for darkness instead of light. And somebody who is consumed with all those things within the political party is still a bit shameless to begin to call PO. You have not talked about all the people that are being kidnapped, killed, women raped. And you are interested in calling PO, and you're talking about Labour Party. Let me tell you, Labour Party, the worst of Labour Party is still better than the best of APC. And you can quote me on that. They cannot even organize national convention. They cannot even bring out clean people to govern their party or govern Nigeria. What a tragedy. And then he is opening up his mouth calling PO. Is PO the chairman of Labour Party? PO is a man who wants due process. He doesn't sit down to command a chairman to leave or don't leave. He has to go through due process. This is the man for the moment. This is the man that is introducing what Nigeria needs. Can you imagine? Does it not surprise you that a man who is in the opposition, who is not making policies for Nigeria, is attracting more attention from all these loquacious human beings who do not have any other job except calling his name just to attract traffic? He's not the president. He is not making policies. So why are they calling on him? That is also a matter of their incompetence and joblessness and nothing to doism in their body, you know, busybodies.
Well, very interesting indeed, because why are they calling on His Excellency PO? Every media house where you turn or everywhere you listen, you hear PO's name in the news. And it's very, very interesting because assuming these people were obedient or people who actually believed in his idea that a new Nigeria is possible, it would have made more sense. But these are just miscreants who are just looking for a means to get their daily bread, and they just keep making, you know, mockery of his name. And so these were the people that Kenneth Okonkwo were tackling, and the people who tried to put Labour Party on under the same umbrella with APC and PDP. Now we realize that they have issues of malappropriation of public funds, but at the same time, I don't think it's fair to put them in the same category with a group of parties that have put Nigerians under perpetual suffering for over the last 8 years and beyond, right? And so I understand where he's coming from, where he says the best of APC is, or rather the worst of Labour Party is actually better than the best of APC. So we understand that. But that's really besides the point right now. Moving on, we have the situation that happened some days back, or rather a day ago, when Junior Pope, the Nollywood actor, was declared dead because he drowned when his boat capsized in a river on his way to go and shoot a movie. And His Excellency Peter Obi has already taken to his X accounts to actually condole with the family of Junior Pope, to actually tell them that he's actually shocked. Now I'm reading directly from his tweet on X. He says, "I am shocked by the reports of death of yet another vibrant Nollywood actor, Pope Obumneme Odowondo, popularly known as Junior Pope. Our entertainment industry and indeed our dear nation is once again thrown into mourning by the death of this young, talented actor." Junior Pope was known for his energetic acting, always comically delivered to entertain and educate. He brought smiles to the faces of many through his roles in movies and comedy skits. His death is yet another great loss to the entertainment industry, which has in recent years risen to become a most vibrant sector of which our social and economic life. I'm even more saddened to imagine the pain and agony of the families they have just left behind. Death is a very painful experience, but the death of a young one with a promising future is even more devastating. I sincerely commiserate with his family and the families of others who also lost their lives in this boat accident. I also condole with the Actors Guild of Nigeria and the entire entertainment industry. May God give them and all of us the fortitude to bear the sad, irreplaceable loss and grant eternal rest to the dead. Signed, P.O. Well, condolences to the family of Junior Pope Odowondo, because this is actually a very tragic incident. And from the stories and the reports surrounding this tragic incident, we can see that it was negligence. A lot of negligence actually played out to see the end of this young and promising actor. It's very sad to see, but Adiola Fayehu has actually shared majority of my thoughts, and credits to her for the video we're about to play next.
Drowned because of negligence, and the one that was alive, the first thing you did was to take him to the mortuary, and then a herbalist, not one person, performed CPR. You took him to herbalist, and then the hospital was your last resort.
I won't lie, you guys, we are the one that took him to the herbalist that performed the ritual. We have performed the ritual. That is the most important thing. The reason why we brought him to the hospital, just to give him oxygen. That is our last choice, but he's already confirmed dead, right? Because we came late.
May Nigeria never happen to you. My people, since yesterday, Nigerians all over the world have just been speechless by the senseless and needless death of 4 Nollywood crew members. Actor Junior Pope, Mr. Friday, a makeup artist, and a sound guy that we still don't even know their names. Let me tell you how ridiculous this whole thing is. First of all, a producer on set, not the one producing this movie, his name is Stanley Nwoke, said that the boat was meant for 6 people. 15 people boarded, already overcrowded because, of course, we don't value human lives. 15 people instead of 6. And according to one of the survivors, only 2 people wore life jackets. That's the director of the movie and the DOP, that is the director of photography.
First of all, I want to thank God for saving my life. I don't know how I came out from that boat. The DOP was wearing a jacket and the director was wearing a life jacket. Only 2 of them wear life jackets.
So I guess their own lives are more important than the rest of the crew members. Meanwhile, the skipper, that is the boat driver, was wearing headphones, probably listening to music while taking human lives across the water.
The boat guy was wearing an earpiece. I think he was playing the music and JP was doing video. So he was focusing for his head to come out on the video.
In any case, their boat collided with a canoe and it capsized.
That was in the front. I see one small canoe. These people were the fishermen. At the time I say, see canoe, this thing like canoe like this now, where they move. Him for just do like this, but he no get the experience. The first thing we in jam na the last point of the canoe, the boat. Somersaulted.
You know, there was no lifeguard. It was people that saw the accident from afar that now brought another boat to save some of them. But apparently, they didn't even know that there were other people still in the water. It was after dropping off this man and others that they now went back to get Junior Pope. So he was in the water for a long time. They couldn't find the sound guy and the makeup artist, by the way. And the first thing that these people did was to take Junior Pope to the mortuary. Who takes somebody to the mortuary without a doctor confirming that he or she is dead? Nobody performed a CPR. It is not rocket science. You clear the air and then you do chest compression 30 times. If the person is still not up, you give them mouth to mouth. Ideally, an ambulance was supposed to be on its way, but this is Nigeria we're talking about. The time that they were taking him to the mortuary, they could have resuscitated him. It was the mortuary attendant that now told them, this guy is still alive. He now advised them to take him to a herbalist for rituals, for voodoo. And these people, educated people, many of them graduates, they also drove him to the herbalist. They all stood there. The herbalist was doing rituals. Still no CPR. You see, this guy actually tried. He fought. They said that after the rituals, he moved his hand. It was now the herbalist that now told them to take him to the hospital.
They brought him from the river. Instead of them to take him to the herbalist, I told them to bring him so that they will perform the ritual, so that his spirit will come back. They rushed him to mortuary direct, not even hospital. Nollywood just want me you die so that they will come bury you. We have performed the ritual. That is the most important thing. The man told us to take him to the hospital so that he would take oxygen.
Herbalist was the one telling educated people to take somebody to the hospital in 2024. Who bewitched you guys? Who caused you? Did you guys think that you were still acting a movie, taking him to the herbalist? You now said, oh, you tried your best. You took him to 2 hospitals, but he died. What were you expecting? And obviously, the hospital didn't have the defibrillator, the heart shocker. When I said, may Nigeria never happen to you, it's a very big prayer, because this guy and all the others that died in this accident, they were not supposed to die. This is not how God wants it. This is what we call Nigerian factor. Every video production, whether music video or movie production, should have medics on set. It doesn't matter if it's a regular movie that you are shooting or a religious movie, so that you don't think you can pray your way out of accidents. Those of you that are acting Christian movies, yes, you should always have medics that will be on standby in case any medical issues arise during shooting. They will also be the ones advising you on safety measures. Also, my people, please learn how to swim. It can save your life. It is never too late to learn how to swim. And if you don't know how to swim, never agree to get on a boat without life jackets and lifeguards. It doesn't matter whether or not you will be blacklisted, because all these actors are now coming out saying, oh, if he had complained, he would have been blacklisted. It is better to be blacklisted and be alive than to not say anything because of what people will say and die. Some people in the movie industry need to be held accountable for endangering the lives of the actors and their crew members. Otherwise, nothing will change. And there should always be lifeguards where people are being transported on water. Meanwhile, Nigerians as a whole, please, we need to be educated on how to handle emergencies. The first thing to do is not to bring out your cell phone, filming, recording, going live. Enough of crowd gathering. All of them trying to film. How can somebody even breathe? Even at the hospital, you need to see the crowd. The whole place was filled with crowd. Also, nobody is saying that you should not pray, but use your common sense at the same time. CPR, Tori Olong. You don't have to be a medical practitioner to learn how to compress the chest. And did you notice there was no 911 to call? No ambulance. They were carrying him and walking. Ash, they wasted too much time. The guy fought. He really did. To think just the day before, he made a video on Instagram while on a boat going to this same movie set, telling the boat driver to stop speeding, saying he's an only child and he has a family to raise.
Don't leave me the ball, no. Don't leave me the ball. I got 3 children. I'm going to raise them. I got 3 children. I'm going to raise them. Plus, I beg.
And just like that, Nigeria happened to him. Our deepest condolences to his wife, his 3 children, his parents, and the families of the other crew members. Everybody is so focused on Junior Pope. They didn't even release the names of the makeup artist. the sand guy. You know, all I can think of are their parents.
We're talking about the crew members. Some people are still under the water. 3 people, 2 sand engineers, and a makeup artist. They are still under the water. Tomorrow by 12 o'clock, we'll go to that place, do the normal ritual, because they have to do ritual before they will resume the body.
Guys, every day, people that don't need to die are dying in Nigeria because we don't value human lives. We gamble with human lives. May Nigeria never happen to you.
Well, this is just a very sad incident, and kudos to Adiola for actually, putting it together very properly, because it's just a matter of negligence, like they rightly said. Because why is somebody drowning, or rather, why did someone drown, and you have the opportunity to bring the person out, and the first thing you're thinking of is let's take the person to the mortuary. You didn't think of any way to resuscitate them. If CPR doesn't work, you could do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. You don't do any of that. You just take the person straight to the mortuary, and it's the mortuary attendant that has to tell you, oh, this person is still very much alive. So it's just a lot of uneducation going on among Nigerians, to be very honest. Because if you're properly educated about safety measures, I think we should take our safety classes very, very seriously, and particularly don't get on an open water body if you don't have a life jacket, or at least know how to swim, because it is very, very risky. And like she rightly said, there's no point of being scared of being blacklisted if you are not alive, right? So it's better you're alive and you're sane and happy than being worried about being blacklisted, because now this is somebody's husband, somebody's son, somebody's father. This is a breadwinner of an entire family. What is going to be the fate of the children, of the wife he has left behind? And these are just deaths that could have been avoided just by simple and basic safety rules being followed. So condolences to the family of the bereaved, and condolences to the Nigerian entertainment sphere, because lately they have taken a lot of losses. And also this whole idea of going to spiritual houses for issues that can be solved by just, common sense and basically, doing the right things at the right times needs to stop. Because the idea of we had to take him for ritual, we're talking about people who are still under these waters right now, and people are saying, oh, we're going to go back there to do the rituals. The rituals obviously can't do anything. The only thing that should have been done was not done. And right now, all the rituals is just very triggering for me to hear all of that, because it cannot do anything to bring back this man to life. So we should take a lesson from all of this. Next time, we don't pray for evil, but if it happens, we should be properly disposed to be able to do the right things to make sure that the situation doesn't escalate. But that's all for now. Before I leave the studio, it is necessary that I bring forth the gospel of the Obidient Family Multipurpose Cooperative Society in the spirit of moving from consumption to production. It is necessary that I mention this multipurpose society that has gathered momentum all over local governments across Nigeria. And people have taken up the initiative to actually, go and start and pioneer this local these multipurpose societies in their various local governments. So if you want to be part of them and you want to be able to make a change against redefining our options for 2027, join the link or follow the link in the description box of this video, and join the WhatsApp platform to be able to have conversations with well-meaning Nigerians and fellow Obedients on how to make sure that this becomes a reality in all the local governments in our country. So actually, this is the grassroots mobilization we are doing against the 2027 elections, so that we're able to not just feed ourselves, but to also move actively from consumption to production, like His Excellency P2B always says. Before I leave the studio, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video. Help us amplify our voice so that the next person can know that, oh, there's a platform like Obidient Family TV, and that we're here to give unfiltered news about His Excellency P2B and his exploits. Till I come your way next time, bye for now.